Good afternoon, parents and learning community of Tornillo. I'm Rosy Vega Barrio. I'm the proud superintendent of Tornillo ISD. As you might have already heard and read in the weekly newsletters from your campuses, the board approved the 2023-2024 academic calendar. And so I wanted to go over that with you all so that you all can start making preparations as you schedule your children's year as far as getting their yearly dental appointments and eye appointments and all of their medical appointments ready for next year, and also your vacation time so you can plan ahead. I know how important this calendar is for everyone. And so first and foremost, I want to thank all of our parents who submitted the survey, and most importantly, those parents who vocalized how important it was for us to make some needed changes. And so we took all of that into account. And so now we have a calendar that we are going to be putting in place for the next school year in effort to address student academics and student attendance, and of course, teachers being in the classroom without interruptions. And so this is where we're at and how you all can help us move our academic outcomes with our students as we continue to finalize this school year, and definitely as we start the following. So what do we have as far as what was approved? The academic calendar that was approved was version B. And so I want you all to see this, and you have a copy of that, and it's posted online as well, and you'll have this recording so that you all can refer back to. But I wanted to explain the reasoning and the rationale behind this calendar. One of the things that our parents vocalized strongly this past year was that there is no substitute for a great teacher. This academic year, we embedded some student academies, and during those weeks, our teachers were being pulled to be provided professional development and to plan for the following 9 weeks. Well, not only did that impact the structures and organization of the day, but there was some concerns from the parent side and from our high school students as well on how to better that for this coming school year. So understanding that teachers right now, more so than ever, what they are being asked by the state to complete and to deliver in the classroom is so important, always has been important, but just the amount of work continues to be layered and filtered into the classrooms. And so because of that, we have a responsibility here in Tornillo to make sure that our teachers are being prepared for the delivery of those lessons, and also to provide them the time to be able to plan so that they are ready to go into the classroom and be the best teacher that they can be for all of our students. And so this is what we have decided. So with this new calendar, as explained during the focus meetings that we've had, is that we are now going from 180 contact student days to 167. So that is significant days that we have cut from the students to be in school. And so we'll be going over the reasoning for that. Is that one, we know that students need some time away. We have been noticing some chronic absences from many of our students. And so with this will allow our students to have more breaks throughout the year, with the intention that our parents are going to be working with us so that our kids show up to school every single day. We are cutting 20 academic year days from your children's calendar so that we can address, one, both teachers, staff, and students will be receiving 5 wellness days. Those are in light blue throughout the year. And what those are is that we are hoping that our parents and our staff, instead of being absent, that they utilize those calendar days to be able to go to the doctor, to be able to go take care of themselves, and not having to take time from the classroom. Because, like I said, there is no substitute for a great teacher. It is costing the district a lot of money, both from the student side and from the teacher side when there's absences. So we want to make sure that our teachers are and staff are taking these days so that they can get well and be ready for our kids and not having to be out of the classroom. We know that every single time a teacher is out of the classroom, that impacts instruction. And so that's what those 5 blue wellness days are for them. And then we have in pink, you will see 3 different areas that we are going to be working with teachers. So instead of kids coming in and having a substitute and the district having to use taxpayer funds to pay and state funds to pay for substitutes, our kids will be at home and the teachers and staff will be here without interruptions, and class instruction is not being lost. So we'll have 2 teacher work days and then 5 professional days, professional development days. And then we are going to have 4 9-week planning days for teachers and 9 data analysis days for teachers. And so that is going to be very helpful. We're hoping that based on what we're doing here, that our parents are going to work with us. And I know that our staff are reasonable people, reasonable and professional, that they are going to be in front of students for those 167 days. Our campus administrators will need to supply a required notice to their supervisor before any other professional development day is approved during instructional days, because that is something that we are not going to do next year. That's why we have these set professional days, so that they schedule themselves accordingly towards these days. Of course, there will be some that we have to, based in case of the state having us do something, but those are going to be far and few in between. And so we want to make sure that our teachers are feeling supported and they have the time away from the classroom without feeling like, oh my God, I'm going to go back to a classroom with having to redo or reteach a class because I was not there and substitute was there. And so that's where we're at. But we're really excited about in October, those pink days, the 16th, 17th, and 18th, and also March 18th, 19th, and 20th. We are going to have family, while teachers are planning and the staff is planning, we are going to have different workshops for families, meaning that the parents and students can come in during those days for different workshops. Our students here, your kids, were very vocal in saying, you know, we would love for our parents to come in and join us, let's say for a cooking class, right? That we can learn how to use measurement and still at the same time develop, make some connection with our families, with our parents and our guardians. And so they chose what they wanted to see in those days, such as career days to be done during that time, where families can actually learn what they're learning in school and the possibilities and opportunities for them in the future. So that was great. We also will have special programming that we offer here in our school district. We'll have professionals come in and work with parents and students. So those will be 6 days, like I said, in October, 16th, 17th, and 18th. It's not going to be all day, maybe a couple of hours that in case you and your child is not at a health appointment or doing something else, or just simply resting, that you all can come in and we will send those notices out to you. So you have this calendar already posted. So like I said, this is rationale behind that. And why is this important? Just like teacher effectiveness is the strongest school-related determinant of student success, chronic student absences reduces even the best teacher's ability to provide learning opportunities. And this is coming, we all know this, but this is coming from the National Center of Education statistics. Just the impact of student attendance on student outcomes, especially in at-risk communities like ours, is significant. One, because the majority of our kids are second language learners. So very few of our kids enter third grade fluent in both languages. Very few of them enter third grade reading on grade level or writing or being on level in the area of math. And we go back and we're going to be looking at some data right now. We have very chronic absenteeism, especially in the lower grades, that you can start seeing the pattern between those students in the lower grades, and it always follows them up to high school. And so those are things that we need to help each other parents, because sometimes our parents come in and they're like, well, I don't know what to do with my child. I don't know how to help. Well, I can tell you that as a parent myself, and as someone who has been in this position, working with parents for a long, long time, is that my advice to parents is that the best way that you can help the school and help your children at home is, one, you are their first teacher. You are the one who educates your child to be the person that they will be. For the years to come. And so we want to make sure that we always say, help us help your child. One, making sure that your child is at school every single day, and that because you're in control of that. As a parent, you're in control of your child being at school every day. We have services here, such as nurses, counselors. We have personnel who can help you with whatever it might be happening at home. And we have telehealth now, where if a child is feeling sick, that we can help and see that child in our nurse's office. So there's no reason for your child to be absent. We understand that there's some times that kids are absent because they are sick, but in reality, right now, I can honestly say that here in Tornillo, out of the over 813 kids that we serve, there are only 3 kids who are critically ill. And those kids, our prayers are with them and their parents. Those are things that we just simply can't control, only science and medicine, whether it be cancer or other things. That they need to be out, and we understand that. But for the rest of our kids here, there is no excuse. And so this is where we need your help, because if you look at this data, it is truly affecting our kids being able to move forward in their academics, in their language, in their future aspirations that all of our kids have when they enter school, and that you have for your own children. You want our kids to be ready to go out from high school and be ready for college or career, and just be good human beings. And so that's what we're seeking. And I know that we're going to work together. And I just felt that it was important for us to have this conversation, because numbers don't lie. Okay. So you're going to see here, this is backtracking 5 years. We're in 22, 23. And so if we look at the elementary, just so that you can see that in 18-19, right before COVID, right, we were averaging at a 97%. The first 9 weeks, the second the first 6 weeks, the second 6 weeks, because attendance is captured every 6 weeks from the state. And then it starts dropping off. It starts going down here in 1920 in the third and the fourth 6 weeks, but then it goes up in 2021 when we come back from our COVID closures. But look at these numbers. They were significantly high, averaging going from 97.5 at the end of the year. And then last year, we dropped to 94.69, which is a significant drop. And if you look at these numbers, we are going to end up approximately in the same area this year of 94%. And so that is the elementary, but it's the same pattern that we are seeing in the intermediate. They were one of our highest when it came down to attendance these previous school years. For example, we had in 2021, we were at 97.63 at the intermediate. During COVID, the COVID year was 97.78. But then last year, we dropped significantly to 95.76. And so if you look at these comparisons here from last year to this year, we actually will more than likely be dropping even more from the 95.76. So, and it's the same thing with the junior high and our high school. We are seeing a significant number drop. And therefore, why is this important for you all to see? Let me show you. Okay, this is how our district gets its funds. Okay, every dollar that comes in or does not come in impacts student learning. Why? Because every dollar that comes in, we're able to appropriate for special programming for our kids or staff or any type of need that our children might need. So just the same, if we do not receive that money because of attendance, then all of that money is money that we are leaving behind, and therefore we're having to make decisions to cut resources for our kids and programming for our kids. But this has been very significant now for the past 2 years, and we just simply can't continue in this trend. One, because enrollment continues to go down, and this is how these numbers are laid out. Here on this column here, the ideal snapshot, right, is let's say that we had 829 kids, right? That's what we had thought we were going to end up with as far as what the trend was for this year. And let's say that we had 100% of our kids attending, which is unlikely, right? There's kids that are going to be absent. But we would get 100% of that ADA. The cost per pupil does not change. This is how much we get per pupil. And then, of course, the state aid is what starts to drop when the ADA is not met. And so ideally, that state aid would be over $10 million, right? So then you see what we budgeted for. We do, like right now, we're working for the budget for next school year. And so we use approximations as to what that enrollment and that ADA attendance is going to look like. So we budgeted for this year with 184 students and with a 95% attendance rate. Well, we know that we're not going to hit that 95% attendance rate because right now, if you see this, right now we went down from enrollment from 845 that was budgeted to 813, right? And then what that means as far as the attendance, where we're at right now is average is 92.58. So what does that mean? You're saying, oh, it's still a 90. No, numbers, every single percentage point impacts significantly. So if you look at this, what is the impact? right now, the impact for this school year, and it's not done yet, we still have a couple of 6 weeks and to clear some things, but this is exactly what we had to cut after the budget was approved. And therefore, we're having to make some serious decisions moving forward, is that we are ending up with a deficit of $643,859. And so that is significant from the ideal, from what was budgeted, to, in reality, what the difference from the budget is, right? And so that is what is happening right now. And we just simply can't continue with this. We need your help, parents. This is something, like I said, you are in control of that. We can go into your home and make your children get up and come to school and be on time and come to school every single day. But we're here, we're prepared to help your children with whatever it is that they are going through. So reach out to us if you are having problems with getting your child to school, that we can set up a plan with your child. I know for those of you that have chronic, your children that have chronic absenteeism, you have already been called by their campus administrators. Some of our parents have and kids have already gone through court, and that's not what we want. It just adds added layers of work to the school system, because for every single day that your child is not in school, it affects their learning. So even your child was out 3 days this year, it's 3 days that they're never going to recuperate. Yes, we can give them makeup work, but there's nothing like being in the classroom. The hours that they're being, they spend 7.5 hours each day in front of a school, in front of a teacher, learning. And so they're not going to be able to make that up. And so if you add those days up in a year and into their 12 years of schooling, it is significant loss, significant learning loss that they will never get back. Even with the best teacher in front of their classroom. And so I ask you all to please, there's a lot of resources here in our school district to help you, but also online. And one of the areas that one of the websites that you can go and seek information on the importance of family and parents with attendance is Attendance Works. It's one of our sites that we use to work with parents and students. And, be aware. I know as a parent, you want the best for your child and you want the best for the school district that your children are going to. And so please help us help your child be the best that they can be, because we truly do have amazing children and amazing families that do believe in education, that believe that education is a great equalizer for their families and for their children. And so help us get your children there. We're in this together. So thank you all very much. If you all have any questions, please, when it comes down to the calendar, don't hesitate to reach out. We continue to have coffees with the principal, meetings, different meetings. Let us know. Email if you can't come in. We're always here available for you. Thank you all very much, and have a great Easter weekend with your family. But please make sure that your child is here ready to learn on Monday. Thank you all very much.